Hey, what's up, world travelers? In this video, I got tips for visiting Lake Tahoe and ways to make it an affordable getaway. Lake Tahoe is one of the most beautiful places in the United States. It has crystal clear alpine lakes surrounded by ski resorts and mountain peaks that are over 10,000 feet high. The lake itself is at 6,200 feet and it's 22 miles long. It's an incredible place for skiing, outdoor activities, and just making memories with your family. But trips like this can get expensive fast, especially in Lake Tahoe. In this video, I'll show you a few tips for visiting Tahoe and show you how I use credit card points, comps, and credit card perks to cut my cost way down, turning this pricey trip into an affordable getaway. Our trip started out in Birmingham, and we had a layover in Denver. Now, I went with a group of 8 people, and some of these are my adult kids. So one of the key facts here is that we did visit the Capital One Lounge in Denver, which is beautiful. I got pictures of that. So anyway, let me go over the whole trip here. So we went from Birmingham. We flew into Reno and stayed one night and then went over to Tahoe for 3 nights. And some of that is really just to maximize room offers. Reno is easier to get rooms like on Saturday night, where in Lake Tahoe is a little harder. So anyway, I was able to get free rooms for both in Reno and Lake Tahoe. So that definitely makes things easier. And then we came back. The kids skied. I don't really ski that much anymore. My knees can't handle it. But, and then came back. So it was a fairly short trip, but Lake Tahoe can get very expensive very quick, especially if you count the skis and such. Yeah. In Denver, we was able to stop over at the Capital One Lounge. And the way we did this is for Venture X cards. So I had my 2 adult kids, both as authorized users. And then myself and each one of my children were able to invite 2 other guests into the lounge. So that's how we got a group of 8 in for no cost at all. And the lounge is very nice, as you can see. Each cardholder got 2 guests in. We had 8 people total, and it included food, drinks, and a comfortable space waiting for our next flight, which was into Reno. The big takeaway is this perk ends February 1st. Starting February 1st, Venture X will only allow the person that holds the credit card enter to the lounge. So anyway, there may be some other strategies. If you have some other suggestions, let me know. I'm thinking about maybe having my +1 get a Venture X card so we can both get lounge access for Capital One lounges and Priority Pass lounges as well. Another thing is I do have a PenFed credit card, which I can find some more information on that. It does have a $99 annual fee, but it's waived if you have $500 in their checking account, and you get a $100 annual budget for spending on airlines and lounges. So we may be using that, at least starting out, see how that works. You can use it for bags. You can use it for whatever is associated with travel. And that's worked out really good. So I actually have $500 in that account to cover that. This is a picture of the bar area there. So very nice. And they have a lot of amenities, a lot of things going on. Coffee was good. We had some breakfast beers and they also had some private meeting rooms and some other things too. So, and I guess they had the showers too. I didn't see that, but if you had a really long layover, that would be super nice. Here's the menu they have posted on the Capital One website. You can pause and take a look at that if you like. They had a lot of very different things. So but it was very enjoyable. I enjoyed it. So here's the trip. So we went in the early spring. We went in March. And that's the best time, I think, for skiing and for fewer storms and sunnier skies and such. So that's definitely a tip. Plan around traffic and scenery. So the weekends get very busy. And so you need to leave early, fill your tank, enjoy scenic stops. And you can look for like Donner Pass and the historic Sparks Museum. Check road conditions, especially going from Reno to Lake Tahoe and going over those mountains. They can require chains from time to time. And all that information is on the Caltrans and the NDOT websites. And I'll find a link and put that in the description below. I found that you can basically make a link to the website and make it as an app on your phone. And I found that is very useful. Make sure you plan the time that you drive. So especially if you're going from Reno to Lake Tahoe or from Sacramento to Lake Tahoe, you got to drive over those passes. And the roads are slickest in the morning, and that's when they have a chain requirement. You may want to watch out for that. If you live in an area that has snow chains, you may want to consider packing them and bringing them with you, especially if you're planning on traveling and getting to Lake Tahoe during the morning. So anyway, I thought that was very important. We actually ended up buying some chains at the local Walmart because there was chains required, and we had an appointment in Lake Tahoe for ski school at 8 a.m. So we didn't end up putting them on. However, at the time it did say chains were required, but we did watch the traffic and see what was going on. So anyway, it was sort of an iffy thing for us. And I'm from Alabama. We don't usually have chains for our cars or driving snow. So it's something we had to be very careful of. And this is the scene from top of the mountain. It's right there on the California and Nevada state line, which is sort of cool. And here's a view down for the Caesars. Now, it was called Harveys, and it's the old Harveys Casino, if you're familiar with Lake Tahoe. But now they've just rebranded it as July 1st to Caesars Republic, and then there's Harrah's right across the street from it. And this is one of the pictures I took from Emerald Bay, and you can see the island in the background. Anyway, it's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful day. This is a picture from the trams that go up from the Heavenly Resort up to the ski lifts. This is a picture from on the tram coming up from Heavenly. So the nice thing is only about 2 blocks from Caesars Republic, Harrah's is the Heavenly Ski Resort, but you do have to take the tram or the gondola in order to get to the top of the mountain there. There's another place where you can drive up as well with your ski equipment, but it's about 2 miles away from the casinos. So the discounts and perks that made this trip super affordable. The nice thing is we used a Southwest Companion Pass. My flight from Birmingham to Reno was $500. However, my daughter flew for free or for the $11.20 and taxes. So it's essentially no cost. So that saves $500 from the trip, just that one thing. Forgot Caesars Diamond status. So it did 2 things. It helped me get free rooms, but it also eliminated the resort fees that are associated with casinos nowadays. That made the entire hotel cost $0. So that was really good. I'm going to have a video in the future talking about how to get the Caesars Diamond Plus status, which is what I've got. It used to be a way you could do it using the Wyndham Business Earner Card. However, as of last year, that has gone away. There's additional benefits for the Caesars Diamond status. And if you're interested in that kind of information, be sure to subscribe. I'll be talking about that in the future. And it's something that we can do in order to travel more effectively, further, and get all these perks. One of the perks of having the Caesars Diamonds Plus status, at least at the time that we went back in March, you get 3 free drinks per day at the Caesars owned bars that were in Caesars Republic. So, or Harvey's at the time. One of those drinks could be a Starbucks up to $11. So I took advantage of that every day. And that changes from time to time. So you have to look and see what's available. Be sure that when you arrive to go to the Caesars Rewards desk and ask about that information, and it'll tell you what's available and where you can get it from. So they'll let you know. And then the other thing is using Capital One Venture X credit card. We used that allowed a couple things. I was able to use the rental van that we've got. I applied $195 of the $300 credit that's each year to the van, and that made that a lot easier. Obviously you had to pay for one or the other. You got to pay for the credit card or for the rental, but it does give you additional benefits. And plus Capital One Venture X gives you 2 times points on all purchases. So it makes it easy as a go-to backup card if you don't have anything else planned. A lot of times I do like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, and there's going to be links in the description if you'd like to sign up or see what the current offer is for those cards. But also the Venture X card is what got us all into the Capital One Lounge in Denver. And there's also a lounge in Las Vegas. I don't think we had time to make it to the lounge on the return, on the connecting flight that we returned from. But the lounge in Las Vegas is actually pretty good. I've never had to wait to enter it or any delays. So that's always a plus. And the food and stuff is limited for sure. However, it's a great place to relax waiting for your flight. And if you enjoy a few alcoholic beverages waiting for your flight, that's a perfect place to do it. So anyway, just to break out the cost, flights would have been $1,000. So we saved a $500 there. $750 is probably a little high of a estimate for the hotel. It's definitely, for the 4 nights that we stayed, it's definitely about $125 or so fee. So at least $500 for that amount for sure. So anywhere between $500 and $750, depending on the time of the year and such. So Tahoe can be very busy both in the summer and in the wintertime for ski season. So definitely watch out for that. And then for our rental car, the total price of the rental car was $476. And I did that to the Capital One travel portal. And that will allow me to get the credit that you have each year for the Capital One Venture X card. So each year there's a $300 credit that you have. Of course, there's also a $399 fee for the Venture X card, but it does give you additional benefits, including primary rental car insurance, double points on all purchases, lounge access. So yeah, I think it's a keeper card. And if you have any other suggestions about other cards, especially that have lounge access, please leave a comment below, because I'm always looking for the best deal. And then I'm not sure exactly how I wanted to list the $80 free play that I received over at the Golden Nugget. But anyway, that's how we listed it. And then so the total trip cost should have been somewhere probably around $2,000. And I was able to do it for $781. So anyway, that just shows you the power of using credit card points and casino comps in order to maximize your travel. So I like to do this on cruises. I like to do it on ski trips. I like to do it on family trips. And a lot of times it does involve going through a casino or something, but it just makes the trip affordable. So anyway, if you got any questions, or if you got a better deal, or if you got a trip similar to this, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. And I'm always looking for a better trip, more places to go, more affordable. The key is, if you keep the price low, you can go on more trips. And this is some time that I got to spend with my adult children and extended family. And it was a wonderful trip. Wouldn't miss it for the world. And I really enjoyed it. If you like this content, please hit the like button and please subscribe. Also, if you're interested in getting your own companion pass, there's links to the Southwest Companion Pass in the description. I will be in the future talking more about timing for the Southwest Companion Pass, and the best way to do that is on our newsletter. And there's a link for the newsletter in the description. It's also at our website at cardsandcomps.com. So anyway, thanks, and I'll see you next time.